I got that panel today. It's got our engine there. I'm going to paint it the same colour, the grey colour. Put a few sets of clocks. I've got one in bits because I'm just doing a little experiment. Got 2 sets of 4BL clocks today. So if you see on my other video, this had a dent there. It had some initial grit on there. I've just done all that tonight with aluminium filler for alloy wheels so you can paint over it. And I've painted that new case of Modcom. That is clean. Normally all around here is all chewed and that. I've put the red gaiters on the forks now. I've put the new tyre on the wheel. But I'm going to put the wheel on that on now, then rig the front caliper and all that up. It's the front wheel all on now and the caliper. It's going to put bleach, go in, bleed it, put the pads in. Found one of them with the rubber as well. Just as I had 2 indicator bracket spare. Somebody bought them off eBay but I had them on. So I've bought 2 indicators and they've got the brackets on. So they'll be coming. Sent the crank away today, where it got picked up today. So now I'm going to sand the swinging arm. It's all rough. And I'll do the other side. That's it all bolted up in sand now, it's all flat. So I won't paint it now. And that's the swinging arm all on now. Just put them on a cross sticker on. I bought a new one of them for up there for sliders. And that's all the back wheel on now. I'm going to put the back brake on next. Probably be getting a new wheel because that wheel, it's, you can see on the spokes, it's just been sprayed when it's been on the bike. And that back brake all on now. I've greased all that up. All the slider paint, put a new boot on there. I've only got 1 pad. So I'm going to order some pads. I've ordered some of them just because if they are in, the hole's massive and that hole weighs down. That's in there. Just colours. What come today, we crank being rebuilt. I've new collar in. But you remember this crank only had one of them shims in. Sent it away on Monday. The courier picked it up on Monday morning. It's come back the day Thursday. So that's good service that. I've put the new chain roller on down there off the blue one over there. I was going to put the one on there, but I'm just going to buy 2 new ones. I've ordered all these rusty clips. That's the barrel and I've got them on there. That might be a bit big that, but I've ordered the smaller size anyway. And these clips come the day with that as well, the back brake screw for in there. I've already put them on, just down there. And that's it in, just little things. I think they're getting the proper bolts for there as well. So today the rest of the gaskets have come. The pistons come what I was waiting for. 57.9. Water pump seals come. Got all the engine bearings here. There's the 2 crank bearings. Balancer shaft bearing. I think that looks like the front spotted bearing. That one behind the clutch basket. That's probably still the balancer shaft one. I've got that needle one inside the engine. And the clutch arm one is in there. So I'm going to put these in there in the freezer now for an hour. Set the alarm for an hour and come back and start rebuilding it. Right, so I'm starting it now. I've just put the bearings in the freezer. We'll get the water pump seal out now. So all you do is just get a screwdriver. There'll be 2 washers on here in a bar. And you've got that washer. There'll be another in the same. That's the back. Got that bar there. Comes out that hole. you've got another washer there, the same as, just exactly the same as this washer here. That's that washer, it's rusty. I'll clean that up and just push the water shaft out. That's a seal, that's which way it goes as well. It's normally got water side written there in the middle. And when you pop that out, you pop it out by that. Put something in there and pop it out. You'll never get it out by there. That's a seal out. Now I'm going to put the water pump bearing in as well while on, just because you've got to bang later on with these to put these in. Sometimes they'll go in, but that's which way they go in. That's water side, what I meant before. The other one didn't have water side written on. So that goes in that way like that with water side facing you. Another thing, so this rust here, this one's all sanded and filed flat, because that there has got to go into the seal. It's going to rough all this edge up. So we'll put this on. So that's the water pump sealing now. So the bearings have been in now, freezing now. I'm going to get that bearing out, if there's any in this. I'm going to get that bearing out as well. Get the impact in on them, because I can see them rounding off. So that's that plate off with the 2 screws for this bearing. Just remember it's that on that side. That's where your clutch basket goes. So you put in that way. Right, I want to take these 3 bearings out, put the other bearings in. And I found an easier way to get the blind needle bearing out. So we're going to add a puller like that. Put the puller into there. Screw this into the puller. And once you've got it in like that, when it's in the bearing, just slide that on, slide that on, slide that on. We'll tighten that nut up. I'm going to roll like that at the bottom, all nice and flush. You have the bigger tube so it's not hitting the bearing. That's all tight. Now we'll just tighten that and extract the bearing out nice and slowly. Dropped somewhere, I don't know where it went. Which is out, just don't know where it went. Oh, there it is, still on the end of the thingy. And there's the old needle bearing. We'll get that bearing out now. And one thing to remember on these, the balancer shaft is this. There's that on the other side where the balancer shaft goes. The bearings are different, so make sure you get the right bearing in, because the balancer shaft at each end is different, but the outer race of the bearing is the same size, so you can get it wrong that way. So for this bearing, we'll be using the slide hammer, the same type of extra. Push that in, till it's flat, tight. So that's it, nice and tight. I'm going to fit the slide hammer on now. And pull that bearing out there. Slide hammer on now. And that's that one out. Took some doing. But I'll clean in there. And I'll just find the same bearing as that and put that straight into there so it won't get muddled up. This is the bearing here. 6302. Now I'll get this needle bearing into there. We'll be working on this side, and I'll get that one in and that one in as well. So that's that one in now. I'm going to put the front spotted one in. I forgot what these are. 6305 or yes, something. That's all them bearings in now. Get the other side done. This is just the difference I was on about between the balancer shaft bearings. This one's to go in there, it's 203. And the one what's went in there is 6302. So that's 6302. This one for the other side, 6203. Just if you ever order bearings. Right, I'm going to get all these in, all these down here. And that's all that side in. I just use a drift on big ones. I tap there, I tap there, I tap there, I tap there. And then when it's seated, the noise of the banging changes and you know you're in. Like on these you can use sockets, but these you can tap down that as well. Now we're going to put the new clutch arm bearing in there, so we're going to put the extractor in. I'll I've just put a bit bog roll around there just because the cases has just been painted, and this is sharp on the bottom of this tube, it'll take the paint off. So we're going to extract this off now. That's it out. Nicely took out that. Good little tools these, they're only a £10 off eBay. There's the old clutch arm bearing down there, if I can get it off there. That's it there. It's the old one. That's the new one. So we'll just put this one in now, push it into there. And that's the new clutch arm bearing in. All the rest's in as well. So now we're going to put that plate back in with a bit of thread on each screw. Right, so now we're going to get the crank in. I've already got to put the gear stick seal in. I'm going to put the crank seal in. There's two. One's bigger than the other. This one goes on this side, on the flywheel side. Just pushed in by hand. That's crank seal in. Move all the bearing up. All the seal. And loop around the crank. Just remember it's this side we're fitting through with the woodruff key. It's going through this left piece. Push it in, it'll just go in a little way. And I'll have to pull it through with a puller. So we'll just make sure it's on camera. And I'll have to get the crank puller and pull it over there. Like I said in my videos, just remember always keep your conrod here. So if you see your conrod drops there and you're pulling it through, you're going to bend your conrod. So just remember to keep that there. So we can get the crank puller on now and pull it through. After the crank in, I'll take the tool off now. Crank spring all nice. Now we're going to fit the gearbox in. It's best to have one of these wooden stands, and all the shafts what's poking through aren't hitting the ground, they're off the ground. So we're going to be fitting the gearbox in. This is which way it goes. That's your front sprout. That's for the needle bearing, so it's going in that way. You've got your selector drum, that's going on there. Got the selector forks. Got a circlip at the top. Got that selector fork. Got number 3 on, a 55 key. And you've got that one at the bottom with a 1. That's which way they go. And loop all that up. So get your cogs like that. There's a runner there and a runner there for your selector fork. Move up and down. There's the circular one, the selector fork. So it goes in that way. That one slides onto that one slides from there. And then move up and down when you change gear. Then you select the drum. That one and that one. I've got a slot under that one and that one. Just leave the middle runner. That's for the selector fork for this. I'll show in a minute. Anyway, just get that into the top. I'm just going to slide it in the way. And when you get to there, and that runner's in that one, and that runner's in the bottom one, get this fork. Don't worry about the bar. Get this fork, put it into that runner, and pull it up into the middle. Once you've got it like that with all the runners lined up, put that in the middle one. Then get that bar, then put it in, it's much easier. Bar just slides through there now. That's the gearbox in. Now we're just going to blue Hylamore everywhere. Just don't forget to blue Hylamore that little bit there. And that's it all Hylamore up now. Slide the balancer shaft in. Slides in the bearing. That's that in. Don't forget to do that bit. I'm going to leave it 20 minutes now, then come back and get the top case on. And I need two of the case studs go and find two of them as well now. And I've took the gearbox out. That's it there. That's just what come in it. And with the full bike being a bit iffy, I've got a good proper set out of a low mileage Gilera. So I'm going to put that in. Just the gears were a bit tight when I was trying it. So we'll get this in now. And that's happening much better. The other bit of the other gearboxes in the video, but I'll leave it in. You can see, look at this one just turning perfect. The other one was going to there and it was stopping it, and you have to turn these. And it was stopping there and you have to turn these. It's just going around perfectly. So now we're going to get this case on. Just going to push the crank seal into there. The one with a bigger diameter. That's the sealing now. I've lubed it all up. I've lubed all these parts up. So let's push this case on now. It's all back together now. Everything's turning freely. I'll put the case bolts in there. So the gearbox is working perfect. So that's good. I'll put the big collar in there. That's just like that, just pushes in. So now we're on this side and I'm going to put all the case bolts in, but they're all chewed up. But I've got this diagram here, it's got like 40mm, I think that's a 60, 50, so 60 will go in there, 50 there, and these are the screws anyway. Out there. A Gilera that done 900 mile, so I'm going to measure all these and then get these put in because they're all perfect. And I've took the clutch push rods out as well. That's out of the same engine. There's just not one bit of wear on each end, so I'll be putting them in. What's the other one? Tiny bit of wear. I'll be putting that in anyway. So we'll get them measured up now. Get them in. So that's all the case screws in. Got 5 here. Them 2. That one. This one. I'm going to tighten them up now anyway. That's all the bolts in. I'm going to put the front sprocket seal in. See, I've already put the gearbox, the gear shaft seal in. And we're done on this side and we'll swap it round to do the other side. And I'll put the clutch arm and the clutch arm seal in as well while we run with this side. Just lube the inside of the seal up and push it in. And I've got a new one of them to put in. And lube this up. So I've had these what have been stuck on that shaft, rusted on. It's been hard to split the engine. So we'll lube this up now. It slides on. And I've ordered the wrong front sprocket seal. The inside diameter is too big. The diameters I've ordered is 28 and it should be 26. So I'll send away for another one of them, but I'll just leave that on. And I've got this gear shaft and this clutch arm, the same engine all the good screws come out of. So I can't remember the condition, but I know they're good because it was under 1,000 mile. Yeah, it's a mint of that. So we'll put the seal in and I'll pop that on. Just leave it in the middle and just push it in. Just push it in, it's flush. We're using sockets, by hand, most of them. Right, now I'll get this in. That little bit of the spring hooks over there like that. And that bit hooks over this bit of the case. That's the clutch arm in. So we're done on this side now. Just one last check. That's how it should be. I didn't notice till I come round and checked. In the spring, the washer was up here. Adding it on to protect the crank threads. But we can start on the other side now. Firstly, we'll get that in. So put a little tiny bit of thread lock on the screw. And we'll just screw that in, get it tightened up. Now we're going to start putting the sprocket cogs on. That's your little woodruff key. Just lube it all up. That slides in there. That's the way it goes on as well. With that dot up there facing outwards. So we'll just push that on. Then push the primary drive on as well. Just lube it all up inside. That just slides over the woodruff key as well. Got that collar. Just push that on. And I'm going to put a better nut on. That's the one that was on. It's all a bit chewed. I'll just put that on for the time being. And I'm going to get this one in. Put a square one like that. Always check them. I've already checked these. Make sure they're square and there's no scrapes or gouges on them. Yeah, it just slots in there. Push it in. And you get this cog. Lube it up inside. It fits on. This dot here matches up with this dot here. So that's it on there. And that's how you have them. That's the two holes. See them? They've got to line up like that. Then we can put that into there now. Just slides in there. That's the bolt lock goes on. I'm just going to tighten these up now. Put a penny in there to tighten this in. Tighten this in a penny in there. So we'll just get the penny in there now. Tighten that clockwise. That's that side tightened up. So we'll take the penny out and put the penny in there now. I'll use a new penny because that's all wonky now, it won't fit in properly. So just put that penny in there and tighten this one up. In fact, I've got to put a new nut on there. Got that nut, a better one. I'll just put it on now. Get that tight. Get the penny out now. Now we'll put the kickstart idler cob on. Got two circlips the same. This one goes on first on there. There's two grooves on that shaft. That one fits in the back one. We'll wash it like that. Two exactly the same. Just lube it up. And that goes on there. And get the kickstart idler cog. Just lube in the middle. And that slides on. And there's a flat way like that. There's the dish way. Dish way faces outwards. Slides on anyway. Another washer somewhere, there it is. It's just the same as the washer behind it. Just move that up. That just slides on there. Then one last circlip. Which is there. It just slides onto there. Push it in to make sure it's in. You hear the click. So that's that in. Still got to bang the tab over that. It's a bit late to be banging on. Now we'll get the gear shaft in. This is the gear shaft out of that engine that's done 900 miles. Yeah, it is a good one. Yeah, it's a mint of that. We'll just lube this up. So lube the oil seal. And when it's lubed, just push it all in. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put that on now. So that's it there. That's out the low mileage engine as well. Just check it straight. Check that wheel's all circulating around. That spring. That spring hooks on like that. This bit just rests in the casing down there. We've got that screw there, that bolt with the ledge here. I've put some thread lock on. I'll just put on now. Let's tap this in neutral as well. And carry on, just keep pushing it down. And that's it over the neutral. So just tighten this up now. And that's it tightened now. This little bit. The circle on this is hitting the circle on this selector drum. All these have got points. There's only one without a point, and that's neutral. Now I can push this over. Just over that black rod there. That's the rods what the selector forks run on. Now I'm going to get the kickstart shaft in. It's the kickstart shaft. That bit there is going to fit into there. That stopper there stops up against here, so it's thrown in. When it goes in like that. That stopper's there and that springs in there. Anyway, loop it up. Loop in there. Once that spring slid in there and the stopper's on there, pull this spring round here and it pushes into this hole on the casing. Just push it in like that. So now put the oil baffler on with the two screws. I've already thread locked them. Goes in there. That's the baffle plate on. Now I'm going to go and pull a bar out of a casing to put in there for the rev counter drive. Just this casing's an electric start case. They don't have the rev counter drive there, so I'm going to go and get one of them now. And that's it there. We're just going to push it in. And that's it on. Then you've got two washers the same. And this white drive. Put one washer on first. Push the drive on. Already lubed this and lubed these two bearings. Push the drive on, then push that washer on there. Just keep an eye on that washer though, because it always seems to drop off if you tilt the engine. It's always best before you put your last case on, make sure that's on that washer. Now put the clutch on. This first fin washer goes on first. It's conical, that goes in that way onto here, so just put that one on first, lube it up. Then you've got this one, it's lubed up, put that one on next, push them back. You've got the clutch basket already lubed up in there in the middle, just push that on, slides on. And that's the clutch basket in. Now get one of those and just lube it up. Remember, it's the one with the spines in. Just slides over there like that. Then we've got the inner basket, just lube in there. I've already lubed that washer again. That just slides on. Now we can get the tab for the middle in the nut. And that's the tab. Just remember when I took it off, I didn't bend that all the way flat. So I can get back behind it and bend it over this nut. It's got a little lip on the top of this one anyway. That slides on there. Puts the bottom into that little cut. And you've got your nut. Just put that on, tighten it up, get the clutch holder on. And that's the clutch holding tool on. It's just like a big mole grip. Just keeps that still when you tighten that nut. So tightens up clockwise. gasket tightened up. I'm just going to knock the tab over the nut now and put the push rod in. I'm fitting the one out that low mileage engine, what hasn't got no wear on. Anyway, it's already looted up. Just push that into there. Push it all again. I've got some new clutch plates. The metal ones. These ones have been in oil all night, so we're going to get these in now. So before you start, always have that dot at the top. And I've got a video of how to do this clutch plates, which to put them in. I'll put the link up here. Just it'll make the video shorter. And I'm going to get the clutch on, then edit it to when the basket's on. And then that's the plates in. And you've got this little ball bearing. It slots into the middle of there. Push it on the clutch. I've already lubed this up with this push rod. Make sure that circle lines up with that circle. Goes on like that. Now we're going to get the 5 washers and bolts in. These are new springs as well. Well, not new, but they're out the 900 mile engine, but I've measured them and they're all the correct length. So we're going to get these in now. Just tighten these in a start sequence. Tighten that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, then back to that one. Just a little tight. And just put a penny in between the primary drive and the back of the clutch basket. Just keeps it still. Just nip all them up. Don't nip them up too tight. Right, get the casing on now and the gasket. So now we're going to get the water pump in. This is a different one than the one I took out. The other one was rusty down there anyway. I've lubed all that up. I've lubed inside the seal. Just pushes in. That's it in there. And you've got 2 washers like that, which are both the same, and a little ball. So one washer goes on first. So that's the first washer on. You've got that little pin like that. Slide that through the hole in the shaft. Just have it centered like that. Because that there slides over that bar now. And just before you put this on, check all the way around them teeth. Just slides on. That's that on. And we've got another washer, same as the other one, it's already lubed up. Put that on. And just clip that circlip on with the pliers. That's the circlip one now. We put the kickstart seal in, the gasket on. Go and find 2 case plugs. And I'm going to find some good bolts as well for the outside. These, and get the casing on. That's the 2 little studs in. Just got them from upstairs. Now we're going to put the gasket in. It's a proper Yamaha one. Just get it open. Slide it on. And I'm just going to put the kickstart seal into there. Lube in the inside before I push that case on. We'll find some bolts as well for here. Now I found all the right size bolts, so I'm just going to push this casing on. I've lubed in there, the kickstart seal, I've lubed down there. Make sure that little washer's still on. Don't just push the case on fully, push it on and leave a gap about that much. I'll show why in a minute. Anyway, just slide it on carefully. And then that's what I meant, have it like that, so you've got gaps, and then you put your gaps, your screws, you can see it going through there, going through it, and it's not ripping your gasket. Same with that one, look, straight through, it's not ripping your gasket, and just do that all the way around, and then at least you know when you're putting your bolts in, it's not touching your gasket there. See when I'm tightening the sump plug, the gasket's perfect, because if you nip this then push the screws through, sometimes the gasket goes offline and you rip it. Anyway, we'll tighten all that up now. That's them all tightened up now. Somebody's blocked the oil pump off on this. That was in there. It's a silken thing, but still got a little black ring on, so I'll keep that black ring. So put the water pump gasket on now. Just put it on there. Just push it on. Just push it on all the way again. Just don't get the bolts through. Make sure it hasn't ripped the gaskets. That one's through alright. That one's through alright. That one's through alright. So we're just going to nip these up now, these three. That's all tightened up now, these are tightened, these case boards are tightened. Just going to put the kickstart on, see if it's running more smooth. Yeah, perfect. Right, I'm going to leave this video here because it's took too long anyway. I'm going to start straight on the next video, which will be putting the oil pump in, putting the top end on, putting the reeds in, then putting it in the bike. Alright, thanks for watching.